Hey everybody. Oh my gosh, we are
Welcome
working
to
all the
our
way up to the
live
last second we hit
broadcast.
go live. There we go. Mute that. How's everybody doing? Oh my goodness. We were working right up to the last second. I'm like, oh shoot, we gotta go. Gotta click live. How would everybody like that special forces last night? Holy smokes. What are you looking for?
Just this.
Oh, right there. There you go.
Welcome, guys.
Mute. Oh my gosh. Why do we always do that? We always do that with our phones. It's easier for me. I'm blind without, I can't see very far. So I can't see the comments unless I haven't pulled up on my phone. Oh,
Sorry, guys. I got to look at all our.
I know we got to go back and read some of those back comments, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. We've got Rosa on. Thank you so much. Rosa's on modding for us. And then, I believe Cory's sister Katie was going to get on too and be on here as well. So we're
Hello, Germany.
Interrogations were intense. I thought they were awesome. We've been watching Special Forces. We just haven't made any videos on them because I feel like we have just barely been able to keep up on Sister Wives lately with work and everything.
I've enjoyed it. They have more of the other characters in that I've really enjoyed. Very little of Cody up until the last two episodes, which has been great. Nova Scotia, Canada.
Except for honestly, like, let's be real. You got to hand it to the guy. He muscled through a lot. I think he got kicked off the show for a very appropriate reason. So spoiler warning, we're going to talk about it all. So if you haven't watched last night's episode, you might not want to stay on the live. But I think he got kicked off for a very appropriate reason. And it's frustrating for me to watch being a woman who has been treated by men like Cody my whole life, by my father. My father's one of the worst. And then my ex-husband is so bad. And so it's infuriating for me to watch it. Sometimes I get, but I think he deserves every single thing he got.
Well, the interesting part on it too is if they are his wives that are, well, I can't even say that because there were wives that were loyal to him and he'd have treated them the same way.
Yeah.
Because he just sits there and, I'm getting punished because of something she said. Well, I'm just going to sit there and watch her get punished instead of saying something. No, we're good friends. Whatever he needed to say.
Right.
So,
right.
And I don't know. I grew up in a military family. My father was veteran, so I felt like that interrogation was just
part of your everyday life.
Just a Tuesday at our house.
It was like, I thought that I had a rough growing up, and then I hear the stories that Cory, and I'm like, that's not true. I'm like, I think you're 100% lying. And then we went to Pinesdale and talked to his mom, and his mom was like, yeah, that probably did happen. And his dad was like, yeah, but the good thing about Cory's family is that, yes, his dad was military, but so was his first wife.
Yeah.
And she would bitch slap that man right back into reality.
Yeah. So it was a cool one, but they definitely, we learned right off the bat as kids that, you get your story straight with the other brothers and sisters. So, because there was going to be the separation and interrogation going
prison
on.
rules. Cory calls them prison rules.
We called them prison rules growing up there. Nobody snitches on anybody, and you have to come up with a viable story. So I think I would have done great in the interrogation part. Probably not so well in the physical.
You totally get this really F you. You just like, F you. I don't care.
But I would joke around with the, I don't know. I'd probably.
I don't know. I think you kind of turn into a bitch.
I would.
Not a sissy bitch. You turn into this F you kind of.
Maybe. I don't know. I would try to create. I feel like
you do create good rapport.
Yeah, I feel like that I would probably get, because I smile too much. So those guys would be like, wipe that smile off your face.
You do. And
yes, sir.
Frustrates the hell out of me if we're in an argument or something and he's over there like got this damn smirk on his face. I'm like, what are you laughing at? And he's like, nothing, this is funny. So, but I think it's funny that, the way that he leaves those girls out to dry. And I think it is so classic that 3 girls finished to the end. Cody was the last man standing, but 3 girls finished to the end. And the two smallest girls on the entire show win. I'm like, good for you.
Well,
what?
Andrew was the last man standing. So
that's funny.
No, Cody did good. Physically, he did good.
Gosh, that's a hilarious.
I'm
Robin
always...
Scoiter. Look at this name. Robin. I'm watching your live and Special Forces at the same time. Can you see the profile pic? That's hilarious.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, we got somebody from A Cold Night in Scotland. Love it. Oh, yeah. Cory for Special Forces next season. I honestly think Cory would kill it. Cory seems soft. He seems sensitive. But there was a time my ex-husband showed up at our house and he had me in a headlock and he was trying to take my little guy. He was 2. And my ex-husband was trying to punch me in the face, and Cory just came flying out of nowhere and just knocked him out.
I didn't know. I just picked him up and set him down, set him aside, and just told him that he needed to take a chill pill for a minute.
And then he swung at Cory.
I just physically picked him up and walked him over to his corner and put him in the corner for a minute, let him calm down. Yeah, and he did.
And I was over here like, oh my
God.
God.
Swings.
I had no idea. I'd never seen that side of Cory because he's always so damn nice. And so.
But I grew up with brothers and we were always scrapping. So
yeah,
always fighting and seeing who was the biggest and strongest. So.
Right.
So I know how to, I don't know, physically fight. So.
And Cory's tough as shit. I had no idea how tough he was. I just never seen that side of him until after we were married. And then my ex-husband showed up at the house just angry as could be. He had just gone gambling the night before and lost $10,000 and he was just pissed. And so he shows up at the house all angry and upset and wants to take it out on me. And I was just like, yeah, no thanks. And Cory stood there and just let me handle it for a minute until it got out of control. And then he had me in a headlock and he was trying to punch me in the head. And it got bad. It got bad real quick. And so then all of a sudden there's Cory, boom, just like right on top of the situation. And yeah, it was funny. Thank you so much, Alanis 3454 for that super chat. We appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. This is my first time watching you guys live. I watch you all the time. Oh, thanks, Robin Scoiter. I really love that name. That's hilarious. Oh, what'd you say?
Yeah, we grew up in the Hunger Games. So, yeah. We grew up in a community where we physically had to work all the time, and so we were tough kids. So,
and his mom had 6 boys, and they beat the crap out of each other all the time. They're best friends now, and you would never guess that, but they did beat the crap out of each other. Yeah. So
we didn't have wrestling mats. We didn't have, these guys we didn't go to public school. So we played basketball. They had a basketball court up there and baseball, but they didn't want us physically fighting, but we did. So we grew up in a community of a bunch of guys, and a bunch of boys, and so yeah, we physically knew how to
hold their own.
Did you slow down the comments?
Oh, thank you.
I didn't.
I even have the stupid thing. Let's see, how do I do that from here? I know there's a way I can do it.
Yeah, that's
go ahead, answer that. What were you going to say?
No, they just said use force only when necessary, and we did. So, yep, my dad and my older brothers, we were very respectful. So I think I would have, I don't know. I'm not even going to say, Special Forces next year. I'd love to get on that show.
You would do
See
so
if
good
I
at
could
it.
handle it, but I'm not a big enough influencer.
The
like
thing about
Cody.
Cory is that he comes off super nice, but this guy is evil. And he can definitely, connive with the best of them.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Okay, Lisa says, can you tell me if Cody finished the challenge? I see someone say that the two women beat him. I didn't think that they had winners, just people who compete or complete. I don't have it here in Ireland. So yes. He did not finish the challenge. They pulled him out of the challenge because he wasn't participating in the challenge. He refused to actually. Let's just play it really quick.
Well, part of it is they have to build rapport. They're being interrogated, so they have to build rapport with the interrogators, and they've got to keep their story straight. So they had to come up with a story, and they all have to keep their story straight. And he just shut down, refused to talk to the interrogators. Well, And so he didn't finish. They pulled him.
I was saying, what's funny to me is that Cody got beat out by 3 women. And I feel like this is a pattern in his life. He's getting beat out by 3 women all the time because he knows what to do and he refuses to do it.
3 women that are better than him.
Yep. So let's take a look at this really quick. I'm going to show you guys this part of it.
And I'm impressed. 57 years old.
I mean,
he did pretty good.
Let's give the guy credit where credit is due. So 57 years old.
He just socially he shuts down. So
because he's not going to be told what to do by a woman. This is such a patriarchal, misogynistic man that there's no way he's going to be told what to do. And that woman drill sergeant got into his face and he just went, done. Screw you.
Well, and the interesting part too is he's been a part of the AUB, or he was a part of the AUB for such a long time. And usually when the men get together in the AUB, they're talking religion or different. They really don't have a social. They don't socialize very well, especially out in the world. Now he's been on a TV show, so I thought he would have got more. I thought he would have got more better at communicating and socializing with people, but he doesn't. He didn't. He has such a hard time socializing with other people because he has been in this little bubble where 4 women have been adoring him, and then 3 of them left, and so now he's wounded.
I think it's funny. He's on a reality show, but he's so out of touch with reality. It's unreal. And so it's a complete mirror of and Cody's even said that how you do one thing, you do all things. How he plays his real life, how he plays Sister Wives on TV is exactly how he played Special Forces, got beat out by 3 stronger women. Thank you so much for Alana. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Alanis3454 for becoming a member. Thank you. Somebody says, could someone in the chat tell me if Cory and Mel saw either or both of the new interviews, Fox 5 interview, the Vile Files, and the YouTube Special Forces reunion that dropped? We haven't been able to watch that yet. We did watch the news interview where Cody just gets so defiant with his children, about his children, and about his culpability in this relationship. Go ahead.
Well, that's the interesting part. When he's in front of 2 military guys, he breaks down and says, yes, I should connect with those kids. He takes somewhat of an accountability from it. They basically said that he was being childish or adolescent.
Yeah.
And so he breaks down and says, yes, I should be the one reaching out. I should be making sure that I am making a connection with these kids. But then I felt like then he got out of that situation and thought about what he was saying. And so then when he gets in front of the news, I think he's like, I felt vulnerable at that time. And when he gets out in front of the news, then he shifts the blame. I'm culpable, but so are the ex-wives. And in a way, so are the children, because they supported the ex-wives, as he said, well, as they're the mothers. And so the way polygamy is built, then they're going to support the mothers when the mothers leave. And so I'm blown away that, wait a minute, so you're blaming polygamy because those kids are closer to the mothers, but again, that comes back down on your shoulders. How come you're not making those connections with your kids too? So
well, and I'm so annoyed because last week's episode, when they broke him down and he was like, no, this is my fault. The relationship with my children is my responsibility. I wanted to make a video immediately after it, and we didn't. I'm so frustrated because my dad has been in many trainings like this, not like special forces, but a lot of accountability trainings. And in the moment, this is what they feel. Yeah. And then their pride and their ego gets in the way, and their superiority and their priesthood power gets in the way, and they go right back to this is how it really is. And so in that moment, they're seeing accountability. The emotions are genuine. And then they go back into real life and they have situations like this, where I think Robin talked him out of accountability when he got home.
Yeah,
that's exactly what.
You're not. No, I appreciate you did that, but you're not the only one accountable. Blah 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 blah.
Right. And just like Bunny says right here, he did say he lied on the show, and I don't know that he actually lied. I think at that moment he might have had a moment of clarity, but he comes right back to his like the way he acts in his everyday life. He comes right back to that.
Well, they're exhausted too.
I know. And so in a moment of vulnerability, he's like, no, you're right. I need to be a better father. I am responsible for this. And then he comes back, and pride and ego come back into his life, and Robin, and he goes right back into, no, my children need to be responsible for their part of it. I am sorry. Children are never, it is your responsibility always as the parent to heal a relationship with your child. It just is. It's always your responsibility.
What was that show we watched where she's like, sorry, I'm the mom and we're going to talk type thing. So can't even remember.
Oh yeah. So when we got divorced, I went into a really, really hard victim mode, really bad. And, I really had a hard time with one of my girls. There was a lot of separation, and it's called Spanglish. The show's called Spanglish. And the daughter says to her, leave me alone. I need space from you. And the mother comes back and says, there's no space between us. We work things out. We talk about things. And again, I feel like that is always the parent's responsibility. But you get these egotistical men, and their ego means more to them than their family. And that's what's sad to me, is it's like, I am sorry. I don't think that you're going to get your planet with all your kids with your ego. There's not room for all of you. It's like your family, your kids, your wives, whatever, or your ego, because your ego is so fucking big that there's not enough room on that planet for all of you.
Well, and to be honest with you, I saw him break down and be vulnerable. And if he does something outside of the show, reaching out to his kids, then that's awesome. I hope he does. But the very next scene, so he breaks down saying, I need to reach out to my kids. I need to tell them how much I love them, all of that stuff. And then the very next scene, they're writing death letters in case they were to pass. And what happens? He writes a letter to Robin. And so
you could tell right there that
he switched right back.
Yeah, he went straight out of that. I don't really care about my kids.
Yeah, I care more about Robin.
And I was really frustrated about it. And I wish we would have made the video before he comes on national TV and admits he lied, because he'd rather be a liar than be wrong. because I've gone through this experience one too many times with my dad. We've gone through these accountability trainings together, and he's so apologetic. And then we get back out into the real world when you're out of that bubble, because you're in a bubble. You're in a bubble of vulnerability. You're in a bubble of, and then he goes right back to who he is before he got in there. One of the accountability trainings that I did with like 45 polygamous people, and they're intense. They're not easy accountability trainings. Well, one of the people was one of the leaders, one of the council members, or one of the 12 apostles. So in Mormonism, in polygamy, you have a prophet and then you have 12 apostles. Well, I did this class with one of the 12 apostles and some of his children and a wife. Well, he treated his wife like complete garbage throughout this entire training. Well, the trainer was a small little ethnic lady, and man, she ripped him apart. She just was like, absolutely, you will not treat your wife like this in front of all of us. You won't do that in my presence. And his sons got up to defend him and were like, you don't talk to my dad like that. You don't know who he is. He's a man of God. You especially do not get to disrespect my father that way. And she was like, I don't give a shit who you dad thinks he is. He will not disrespect his wife in my presence, in my room. And I felt like that's where Cody got to with the what are they called? The DS, the drill sergeants.
Yeah.
Is that she got in his face and he just went, F you. I don't really care. I don't care what you have to say.
They were the interrogators. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And so I think it's really sad because I think he did a perfect example of how these men are in real life. And again, right straight from Cody Brown's own mouth, what you do in one thing, you do in all things. And he was beat out by 3 women, and 3 women who are stronger than him outlasted him. And he got kicked out because he refused to be a part of anything. He refused to actually participate. And I loved how the staff said that. They're like, he knows what he's supposed to do, yet he refuses to do it. Exactly. He knows what he needs to say to these women. He knows what he needs to say to his kids, yet he refuses to do it. And I don't know. It's the same thing. Like, I'm sorry. I see this with my dad all the time. So let's see.
Nicole Aggie. No, accountability classes are not taught in the AUB. So
no, they're not.
At all.
No.
So that is something that,
oops, sorry. I was trying to push that Nicole Aggie comment and it just jumped really quick.
So no, it is not taught in the AUB. These are classes that we took, or she took, and then I took it later on outside. It was after we left the AUB. So
I was still in the AUB when I went through it. So we've talked about Dorothy Allred Solomon on our channel before. She, there's a company that they're all over the United States. I think they originated in California, but they're called LifeSpring or Impact Trainings or something like that, but they're called Life Accountability Trainings. And Dorothy Allred Solomon and her husband brought that training to Utah and called it Rising Star in Utah. Well, because she's from Polygamy, they enrolled a bunch of polygamists to go through these classes. So my dad and most of his wives went through. I was the first one in my family to go through it. And because before that, I had just tried to choose out of life, and I was broken. And my ex-husband put me in the class to try to fix me because I was so broken because I wanted to choose out. And so he put me in the class. So that's why I went into it. But that's the only reason. I'm gonna have to slow these comments down just one more smidge because I cannot keep up with them. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, somebody had commented on there that Bree had done, and she did. Yeah,
I loved it when she's like, I tried gentle parenting with him, and he still didn't want to hear it. He still didn't listen.
Yeah. So in fact, when Rising Star was going on, I was young adult, but basically up in the community that I grew up in, Pinesdale, they even announced over the pulpit, if I remember correctly, that people from the AUB shouldn't go down or at least from our community, shouldn't go down and take these classes because so many wives were going to the classes and then realizing how poorly they're being treated.
And women were leaving their husbands in droves.
Leaving and leaving the AUB. And so they felt
that's when I left the AUB.
Yeah, they felt like that the classes were empowering women too much. So
So, and I do want to get to, I see a bunch of the comments are going on about Robin's comment to Brianna Chicken Fry. I'm sure it was said in jest, but you don't say something like that. That is not like remember we watched it last night where Brianna Chicken Fry is like, yeah, I went out to dinner with Sean Johnson and Andrew East, unless you're Cody and you call him Andrew West. What the hell? And so she says that Robin couldn't go to dinner with them because she was going to murder Brianna. And I'm sure it was said somewhat in jest and somewhat very seriously too.
No, she probably went off.
Oh, I'm
Cody,
sure she did.
And so then Cody's like, no, she didn't come because she didn't want to meet Brie. So
no, that's a self-appointed name that she's given herself. It's Lapenia or something like that. I can't remember what her given name is, but no, she's
funny.
I loved her on this show. I thought she was so great. I've watched a couple of her podcast episodes too, and she's hilarious.
And I think it's hilarious too, because then Cody gets all, I've been bullied by women my whole life type thing. And she's just, Cody, chill out, follow, quit trying to be the leader, keep close. And she's just kind of putting him in line, and he does not like to be. He's
not going to be told what to do by a woman, and a younger woman like that. Like, don't get in my way.
Yep. And he's not used to that at all.
Right. So I do genuinely feel like Robin, that's probably a true statement. What was said, I can see Robin being that way. Absolutely defending her man. And I think it was one of probably the dumbest things that Cody Brown ever could have repeated to anyone, because Brianna Chicken Fry won't let that go. She will hold on to that forever. That will be forever on the internet. That will never go away. And she's like, I literally have like this Mormon sister wife that wants to knife me. And or put a gun to, whatever it was. And I was laughing so hard. I thought it was so hilarious. Yeah, this is great. He is a chicken and she fried his ass. So it was so hilarious. This is very true as well. She's prettier than Robin. I'm sure Robin doesn't like that. Very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, my mom just got on. Okay. He was bested by someone who goes by the name Chicken Fry. I love that. Yeah. She actually, I think she made that up herself because she has, long skinny legs or something like that. I can't remember why she said she named herself that. I haven't watched a lot of her stuff, but yeah, let's see here. I think that will come back to haunt Robin for a very long time. I think it was an extremely foolish comment and extremely foolish on Cody's part for repeating it. And I think that, God, it's just going to come back to bite them both in the ass pretty hard, I think.
Robin doesn't care.
What did you say?
Robin doesn't care. So.
Well, I feel like Cody tried to make that point over and over and over. I don't care what you think about me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I really don't. And honestly,
they feel like they're right and justified in everything that they do.
Yeah.
So, and I truly hope that.
Oh yeah, she did say "skin me alive." She said she wants to skin me alive. Yeah. And then she's like, well, we're live. I guess we're just going with it because Robin Brown, Cody's wife. I'm like, what in the hell, Robin? Why would you say something like that? But
then Robin's probably going to chastise him for repeating her frustration.
Well, now she's got even better reason to get a divorce and leave him. Mm-hmm. Look what he did to her socially.
Yeah.
He ruined her in any social circles. Yeah. Let's see. I really want to go and read it. I want to go and catch up on some of these. We just weren't able to catch up on them before we went live today. The Vile Files reunion show.
Oh, okay.
And
no, I haven't seen that one. I'd love to see that. I've seen a few of the clips where Cody was trying to be social, because it is interesting that he is trying to socialize with in his weird way with but he's only wanting kind of to socialize with the men in there, probably because he wants to show Robin how loyal he is. But he comes off that creepy vibe when he's talking to the women and they feel it. And so even the guys are feeling that he's creepy. And so,
and that's the problem, is he's sexualizing his wife in every single scene. And that's what makes him so creepy. It's just like, this is your wife. Show her some decent respect. Like, you do not need to sexualize her in every scene. And what it's making is Robin is like, it's creepy for Robin. She's backing up going, come on, buddy. You don't need to sexualize me in every single scene. We've even seen David and Christine back up on some of their, and for them, it was a little bit different because they had a new romance. I feel like Cody and Robin are just trying to catch up and trying to make it compete with David and Christine. Canadian, I believe Robin would still make even this Cody her puppet because she wants that cha-ching for her spending addiction. She just sees a dollar amount.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And when that show money goes away, what are they going to do?
He can go on Bachelor.
The senior. He would have to be the senior. Or there's the golden. It's called the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
That would be really funny, actually.
And he wouldn't send anybody home.
I'll just take you all. You'll all be in my harem.
Yep. Kingdom. Harem.
It's a harem. I thought I saw your brother on here earlier, but maybe I didn't.
I think you did too.
The comments were going too fast and I couldn't keep up with them. Which one are you? Somebody says Tracy says, we've all known women like Robin, all talk until in your face. And as soon as you turn around, the knife goes right in your back. Elementary school tactics. Well,
she doesn't like to play girl games.
That's what I was just going to say. I don't know if you're right, Tracy, because in the preview for next week, Cody said Robin hates girl games.
But that's exactly how she is.
That's exactly how she is. That's exactly what happened right there. Bunny says that's because he is never held to account for his words and actions. And that's on the OG. They set a pattern with him. They absolutely did. Most of us did, unfortunately, because again, you're taught that you can never speak ill of your leadership. So if you're again, that goes in layers. If you're the woman, you are the leader over your children. And then your husband is the leader over you, and then he has his priesthood head. So you can't question him.
Well, and the minute you do, so I feel like the 03 wives have held him accountable on a lot of things, but the minute they started holding him accountable, their relationships went south, and to the point that they finally just said, okay, I'm done. And
right.
Each one of them have left because, I mean, you see Janelle having an argument with Cody, the big blow up, and she's trying to hold him accountable on the words that he has been saying and how he's twisting things around. And he's like, fine, I'm out of here. You don't get to talk to me like this. Well, having a conversation, and she did drop the F-bomb on him, but
Brianna did? Yeah.
No, it was Janelle.
Janelle. Yeah. Sorry.
But the minute she was holding him accountable for his behavior and actions, and even later on when they go to dinner, she's like, well, this is what I'd like to talk about. Well, we can't talk about that. Then we're done.
Yeah.
You can't discuss his sacred cow. And so I'm done with this. And so that's really what each wife has come to a point that they're holding him accountable for what he's saying and what he's doing. and he will not be held accountable, and so they leave. So
Right.
So what was the one you popped up? I didn't read it. So
Oh, it went back. Oh shoot. Something about now. Sorry, it went. My brain already went to the next comment. She says, I get the impression Robin is not servicing her best customer quite as avidly as she once did. So,
oh, more kisses, please. Oh, I'm out of here. So
yeah, I really feel like he needs to show his wife a little bit more respect, and that's not sexualizing her on national television. What are you looking for?
No, that's he wants to compete. Here's the thing: he sacrificed 3 other marriages that he had some connection with each of the other wives. What he was getting from the 4th marriage was behind the scenes, maybe, is this sexualized foreplay or sexualized Cody has never understood. Yeah. But he's always had this kind of sexual play with Robin.
Yeah.
He sacrificed all 3 marriages thinking he would get that and get to show that to the world. And yeah, now she doesn't want to. Now she doesn't have to compete. And so, yeah, he was looking to be able to show the world that he did a sacrifice of 3 marriages for something amazing and wants to show that off, and she doesn't want to even give it to him.
Well, Rosa nails it right here. When there's no prize to win anymore, the game isn't fun.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I think has happened is Robin doesn't need to try to outwit, outlast, or outplay any of the other wives anymore. So it's just not fun to her anymore. So Cody it's almost like a cat with a ball of yarn where they just bat it around just for fun. I feel like that's what Robin has done with everybody. And then it's like, nah, I'm done with you. I don't want to be here anymore. And again, I love Rosa's comments. Thank you. Most men, in my opinion, get off being the prize. So it's also a less fun game for them at that point. And I absolutely agree with you on this one, because this is what they're so used to constantly feeding into that ego. And that's why I loved Special Forces, because I really feel like it showed all of the sides of this patriarchy that these men and the misogyny that these men live in daily towards these women. And I just couldn't have thought of a better way to win than 3 women outlasting Cody. It's like, God, Cody, this is exactly how you lived your life. 3 women outlasted you.
Yeah.
Oh,
thriving without you.
Yeah. So Tracy says, did we discuss Cody's hair yet?
His new hair?
That was looking pretty rough, wasn't it? When he said, I didn't think we were going to have showers, so I didn't bring deodorant. What? Like, wouldn't you want to bring deodorant even more so at that point?
Well, I think did he say he thought he would be showering?
Oh, did I read that backwards?
Did I say that
deodorant?
Backwards? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so then they didn't get a shower, so he stunk. And yeah, that's got to be.
And then he's like, Andrew, borrow me some deodorant. Yeah, no, buddy. I have a way bad germ phobia. I would never share deodorant like that.
Yeah, I'd have probably given it to him. Yeah, you stink pretty bad. Just take it. It's yours. So.
And then what? Share deodorant with your wife?
No, I wouldn't have.
Let's see. I'm trying to get Mormon Husbands would be a great TV reality series. It would have to be Mormon Polygamous Husbands. What I would love to watch about that Mormon Polygamous Husbands reality TV series and have a bunch of women who are in control and running the show. I would laugh so hard. That would be such a great.
Lunch lady with a hairnet. Someone comment, but
yeah. Cody's hair looks like a lunch lady with a. It's so true. I think his hair, like, I don't even know. He did that news interview, and even still, his hair is like, what is happening in the back? People are like, oh, he cut his hair. I don't know. It almost looks like he just pinned it back. It doesn't really look like he cut it, but I don't know. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to tell like what's happening there because it's so weird. Let's see.
Well,
what are you looking at?
I think it looked like to me that Robin started trying out doing hair and makeup or something like that. She started a new business, and so she's been cutting her doll's hairs for a couple of years, and so tried it out on Cody.
It's pretty rough. Thank you, Aunt Mitty, for that super chat. She says, "Gotta bounce. Happy Friday. Love Melancholy and the sobs." Thank you. Exactly. Oh, and then there's that flip off the sobs. That's funny. Come back for the rewatch later. Thank you. Bunny says, "Yes, I thought it was a French twist too." Yeah, honestly, that's what I thought it was. I was like, it doesn't look like he's really cut it. It looks like he almost like slicked it back in some sort of bunish thing. All right, I'm going to try to catch up with the comments. Let's see. Tracy says
that was interesting too, watching the go ahead.
Oh, it just says, I was just thinking it looks like how like he has a low ponytail in the back, and you can see something like that from the side, and the curls are then pinned up from a low ponytail. That's kind of what I thought it was too. I don't think he really cut it.
Yeah. And so it was interesting because the last episode of Sister Wives, I guess he had come back from this show, and that's why he was shaving for her.
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, that's what I assumed, was he had come back from doing special forces, and then she was like, "Oh, your beard's." Maybe he even showered, but she's like, "Yeah, you need to shower and trim your beard down." So
yeah. I saw some screenshots of Cody where he had wide eyes staring at the male interrogator, getting in his face, and it kind of scared me. Like in that moment, I saw Cody angrily staring at a wife or a child. I did too. Being that child who's had a father in my face like that, screaming at me like that. Cory instantly said, "Oh, look, we get to see Cody's murder face that Robin's always talking about." And I agree. I think that is, especially when these men are, if they're pushed against at all by a child, you do not question. You do what you're told. You do what you're told right now. And if you want to push back, these men come at you hard. And I have been on I have literally had my dad come at me with a 2x4 that he was going to beat the shit out of me with. And I saw that look in his eyes, and he came at me. I was 14 years old, almost 15 years old. And he was coming at me full force, and I was screaming at him, holding my hands up. And I was like, this man's going to take me out. I thought for sure I was dead. So, and I have seen those looks. I know you have seen those looks.
From parents?
From your dad, maybe probably from your mom.
Yeah. I was obedient.
Yeah. I definitely have seen. It's almost like the anger hits differently when these men are disobeyed or questioned. The anger hits differently. It's not anger, it's rage, and it can turn into such a toxic rage that. Yeah, it's a murder face. That's what it feels like. I mean, come on, look at Robin flat out admits that she's going to murder someone, and then Cody's got a murder face going on. So
yeah, I also think that I don't know, he was intimidated. I wish they had kind of gone, yeah, I don't know, said something. Would you even stand up for your wife? Things like that, because he stood there. Almost when Brianna was getting stuff dumped on her, it was almost like, I got punished because you called me creepy, and so
take
that.
He wanted her to be punished.
He wasn't going to stand up. He wasn't going to say anything. He wasn't going to stop anything. This was, I have to go through it. You guys have to go through it too, is his attitude. So,
and that's exactly what it is. Oh, and I grabbed this comment. Oh, come on. Dang it. It jumped so fast. The anger is always bubbling just beneath the surface. Anything can set them off at any time. And this is so true, especially because what happens is you get one man and multiple women just coming at him all the time. They're always like, net. And so what happens? Yeah, this is as bad as your blah, 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 blah bullshit the other day. Cory said that on one of our videos the other day, blah, 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 bullshit. But what happens is, again, the children are the collateral damage in this, because who's easier to pick on? He can't really, I mean, although there's some pretty severe abuse things coming out of the AUB currently right now. And I know that my dad has slapped around some of his wives. He's absolutely slapped them. And so
allegedly,
now what's happening is it's like they turn around and they take it out on these children, because I was going to say they can't take it out on their wives, but that's not true, because they do. And so they turn around and they take it out on their children and smack the shit out of their children. And I have literally thought I was going to die a few times. So yeah, exactly. He didn't even flinch watching her be punished. No, for him, it was probably like, that's what you get, B-word.
But I think it's more than that. He was there going through an experience, military experience that he was relishing, he was loving, and
she was bugging him.
Well, and she needed to go through that same experience, even though she was, you know what I mean? If she was going to stay strong, then she could, but she had to go through the same punishment as he did.
Right.
And so he wasn't going to go, wait a minute. Okay, no, he wasn't going to talk. He wasn't going to communicate to the interrogators, first of all, because he didn't feel like he had to. So
right.
Even though they told him at the very beginning, make up a story, stick with the story, create rapport. He didn't have his dictionary there.
Rapport.
Well, he didn't have his dictionary there, and so he didn't know what rapport meant. So
maybe it was just the same as soulless.
Yeah. What is what's this?
What's this
word
you
fancy
speak of?
Word you're using? Rapport. How does it work?
That's funny. I want to get to this comment right here. Oh, I love this. Brianna Chicken Fries coming out with her own book. She has a wonderful relationship with her father. I doubt, and I'm curious to see if it will help me do some healing. Thought I would share.
Nice.
I loved hearing her talk about her father throughout all the episodes. I felt like honestly, that's why her and Cody butted heads so much too, is because she had a father who treated her with respect, treated her with love, treated her with compassion and empathy, and believed in her. And she says that through so many of the episodes. My dad he absolutely believed in me. And she's up against a man who has 18 children who he doesn't believe in any of his children. I don't even think he fully believes in Robin's children. And that's the sad part, is that what would that do for a young woman to grow up with that kind of masculine energy in her life with somebody who believed in her, and so I think it's amazing, her relationship that she's got with her father. Because I'm sad, because I can almost guarantee some of Cody's kids watched this episode, the Special Forces, and had a glimmer of hope that their dad would come back and love them, and that he would be different, and that they would matter to him, and that he would come home and genuinely, tearfully want to create a relationship with them. And then he gets on national television and says, it's not all my fault. It's their fault too. And they need to own their ownership of it. They need to be there. If you're a little bit culpable, you're 100% culpable. And so yet again, one more disappointment for these children who were probably really hoping to have a connection with their dad.
I think McKelty said that, if I remember a clip, that she said watching that clip in Special Forces made her want
to reach out to him,
not to reach out but to accept his phone call if he called.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is awesome. So, and I do think a lot of healing needs to go about, but a lot of that healing, unfortunately, is going to have to be Cody realizing some of the behaviors he's done with Robin by choosing Robin's family over the kids. And so sometimes those kids, hey, I do want a relationship with you, Dad, but I don't want a relationship with,
and that's unacceptable,
Robin. And until he says, yes, that's acceptable, I will have a one-on-one relationship with you, and you don't have to accept, you don't have to have a relationship with Robin to have a relationship with me. Until he says that and does that, yeah, it's probably not going to. He has been the only way you're having a relationship, from my view, only way you're having a relationship is if you treat Robin with respect. You have to treat Robin at this level before I'll even have a relationship with you. He has got to put that aside.
Yeah.
Because that's an individual relationship. He needs to have an individual relationship with his kids. And if then they do choose to have a relationship with Robin, great. But he's walking around, don't say anything negative about my sacred cow. And so.
Well, and I know that McKelty and Tony have said stuff about us on their channel. And I know my contact info. Yeah, they have. And I know my contact information has been given to her. So if by chance she sees this, I would love to connect with McKelty and Tony. And what we would talk about, I feel like, is how do we feel as children being the hopes and the wishes that we had for the relationships with our fathers.
What kind of connections we want to have.
Right. I don't want to sit and bash Cody to her. I don't want to sit and bash, but just what is it? How do we feel as children? Because I'll bet that McKelty could relate so much to how I feel. And I bet I could relate to so much how she feels. And same with Cory, because we wanted those relationships with our fathers. And whenever we would get a tiny glimmer of hope, I know that I held on to that hope for a long time, and it was really disappointing when he just went, nope, sorry.
Well, and I
wanted to get back up to this.
See, I was lucky. I repaired my relationship with my dad before he passed on. And that's because he actually started going and taking VA classes and realized what post-traumatic stress syndrome is and behaviors. And so he actually reached out and started apologizing and talking and creating relationships. So I really appreciated that. That's probably what these guys want. So is there frustrating things that went on in my childhood? Sure. But we talked through those things, and I had a great relationship with my dad when he passed. So,
well, and I know a lot of people are like, I'm sorry, walk away, no contact, whatever. But it is really hard because you do want to have those relationships. I went and did ayahuasca and came back from ayahuasca wanting to heal things with my dad. I worked so hard for a few years to do that. I purposely started to hear him, listen to him differently, listen to him with him really wanting to love me instead of him needing something from me. And so I really tried to do that. And then when my little brother died and he just went right back to who he was, I gave him too much grace. I want to get back to this comment really quick.
That was a trick. My dad wanted to repair the relationship with me. So,
and my dad doesn't. He only wants it if it can provide something for him. I love this comment. Thank you. He blames the relationship with his kids on the divorce, but the relationships were already bad and became worse during COVID. Yeah. So I really struggled during this part of the interview when he was like, because all I could hear is my dad the entire time. Because Cody's like, before the divorces, I had a great relationship with my children. Now, my sister, I did a video on my sister who passed. We just had her 3-year anniversary who passed. Her and I were born on the same day. She's 4 hours older than me. And she passed 3 years ago. And my dad did not come to her funeral. And he says to me, I healed everything with her before she died. She was so bitter and so angry and so upset with my dad over the way he handled her mother's passing. He was horrible to her mother when she passed, horrible. And my sister was furious and upset about it. And she never wanted to have anything to do with him again. Right. Well, he calls me and he's like, Mel, I figured, we had a wonderful relationship. She apologized for all the bad things that she said to me. And we worked things out. He never said, I apologized to her. He said she apologized to him for all the mean things and bad things that she had said, and he forgave her. So they had a wonderful relationship. So he didn't need to go to her funeral to show that he cared. So when Cody says that on the news thing, it reminded me exactly of my dad saying stupid bullshit like that. That's absolutely not true. In their mind, they live in this delusion.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting part is she's the one picking up the phone and trying to contact him.
My sister?
Yeah.
She did. She's the one who called him because she had cancer and she didn't want to die angry with my dad.
And usually if there's a relationship that's to be built or worked on, it's usually, from my perspective, it was you kids reaching out to him to try to build that relationship. Right. But the minute that you no longer reached out, you no longer
now there's something wrong with me. Look how bitter and angry Melanie is.
Then all of a sudden, sorry.
Well, and so it just infuriated me when Cody said that. I had a wonderful relationship with all of my children before the divorces, but the nature of polygamy, my children were closer to the mothers. They're going to choose the mothers. That's not true. That doesn't always happen. I know a lot of children who have their mothers. I mean, look, let's take Christine Brown, for example. Her mother left her father and she chose her father because she thought her mom went crazy for a while. We read some of that in her book. And now has healed some of that relationship with her mother, but she chose her father more. Mm-hmm. When my mom started to leave my dad, I was leaning towards my father because I had just come back from doing ayahuasca and I was wanting to heal that relationship with him. So when Cody says stuff like that, and then they ask him, well, what about the NDA? He speaks one thing out of one side of his mouth and something totally different out of the other side of his mouth. And he's like, oh, well, that was just a business thing. The attorneys and the lawyers got involved. No, you douche. That was not a business thing. That was you guys trying to silence Mary so she couldn't rat you out. And so I watch these men tell these blatant lies. If any of you have seen an article came out recently 2 days ago about my mom suing my dad, and they reached out to my dad for comment. What did he say? No comment. She's a complete liar. All of it are lies. Because these men don't truly want to be accountable for where they're at. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing on that too is, well, I don't know if
that was a long rant. Sorry.
That in his deposition, or what I read in the news article, was that he said that they were never married.
Oh, solemnized, that they never solemnized their marriage.
Yeah. He got pesky 11 children.
Those damn kids were just dropping all over the place. I don't know how they got there.
How they got there. So, and that's going to be awkward. He'll say that to the news media or through his lawyers, but that is going to be super awkward when he has to tell the people of his community as the prophet.
I just committed adultery with this woman for 52 years.
For 50 odd years. He's been doing stuff that he shouldn't with a wife that with somebody he doesn't consider his wife.
Yeah. My dad said, awesome. We never solemnized that marriage. So yeah, I just dropped 11 children into her and they just fell out all over the place. And who the hell knows how they got there. Okay, you could tell Cody was lying about the NDA. Absolutely. He was 100% lying. And they just want to dismiss things. They tell partial truths or no truth at all. It's just complete lie because they don't want to be held accountable. Oh, I know. I got to catch up with the comments. Even though I slowed them down, I'm still way far behind. Thank you so much, Catherine Perry, for that super chat. She says, Cody should heed the words of Jackie Kennedy. If you bungle raising your children, I don't think whatever else you do matters very much. And I 100% fully agree with that. You know, there's a statement that says it doesn't matter how successful you are if you're a failure in the home. Yeah.
You give him too much credit. The wives raised the children. He's not going to take the accountability that he raised the children because if they're disobedient or if they don't want to follow, then the wives didn't raise them very well. So
yeah, And that's the truth. If the children are performing up to par, then they are the father's children.
Mm-hmm.
If they're falling behind and they're not actually, then they are the mother's children.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way Cody explains that, he straight out lied on TV on that news channel saying, I had a wonderful relationship with my children. I'll bet that hurt his children when they heard him say that. I'll bet it really hurt them, because they were like,
well,
really, Dad?
And he's going to have a good relationship with them if they're obedient. The minute they kind of push back or said, no, I'm not going to do that, then just like he did with the wives, then he withdraws attention, he withdraws love, because they were disobedient. They're not following his advice. And so they no longer get the love that he has to give. So,
And, okay, I know this isn't about sister wives, but the episode where Mary cried about, we can talk about anything. We don't have to talk about just special forces, about how Cody and Robin were treating her was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got emotional watching that too, because I know how that feels to come to that realization. And I've seen so many women come to that realization, and it's a bittersweet moment. It's like, there's your life. It's almost like there's your life before someone passes, and then there's your life after someone passes. There's your life before you have a child, and there's your life after you have a child. There's your life before you realize that who these people are, your husband, your sister wives, and then there's your life after. And there's you become a completely different person when you realize these people these people will do exactly to you what you never thought they would.
Yeah. It was I feel like she was the last of the original wives that is realizing that.
Yeah.
Both Christine and Janelle are like, nope. In fact, Janelle was warning her that she needed to get a lawyer, and she's like, why? Cody's not gonna. She still had a bit of faith in what Cody and Robin would do and would behave, and Janelle was there going, wait a minute, no, I've seen this other side of Cody. You need to get a lawyer. You need to protect yourself. And she didn't believe Janelle, and this is at this point in time is when she's realizing what she's being told
Janelle
from
might have been right.
Might have been right. Doggone, I didn't believe that they could ever behave and act like this.
Yeah.
And now they have. So,
and it broke my heart, because I've watched my mom come to that realization, and it's hard. It's hard to watch. I remember, there's your life before, and then there's your life after, especially when we were sold this story our entire lives about eternal existence, and you put everything into that. Mary had a moment there where there was the Mary before she realized, before she'd never believed it, and then there was the Mary afterwards, and it's heartbreaking. It's really hard to watch. These are real people who are going through real things and going through real emotions and having real experiences. And I think sometimes we forget that. We make fun of them. We talk about them online. We do all of these things, but we forget that these are real people going through deconstruction, going through one of the hardest things they've ever done in front of the public eye. It's horrible. Let's see. Yeah. And I really did appreciate this comment too. Come on. Shit. Sorry. It jumped again. Can't find it. What were you? Let's see.
I was waiting.
Was it James on Facebook group? Someone posted a meme about, if you don't face your demons before raising children, your demons will raise your children. Something like that is so true. I absolutely agree with that. 100%. I knew when I got pregnant with my first one, I was barely 17 when I got married and got pregnant with him. I instantly went into parenting classes. I instantly went into, what do I need to do? Because I don't want this broken version of me raising my children. So yeah, it's really hard. What are you reading?
So if your dad was living adultery all of those years, is his revelation nefarious?
Yes.
Absolutely it is. So I know that's sacrilegious in their terms, but yeah, I feel like a lot, all of the revelations that come from the AUB seem to be nefarious to me. So very. So they point the finger. Your revelations. Well, I don't have revelations. I just think I should be able. Nefarious revelation. Fine.
Right.
Yours are pretty nefarious too, there, buddy. So.
I can't scroll back. It's too far up here, but Julie asks, my question is, why would someone even sign an NDA, and what happens if you break it? If you break it, you can be sued. There could be penalties, fines. I signed an NDA with my mom because my mom's 71 and trying to go through this alone is really hard. So I go with her to her attorney appointments. My mom's attorney had me sign it because we talk online. And so in order for me to go to these appointments with her and maybe walk her through some of this and help her understand what's happening, my mom's extremely intelligent. It's not like I need to babysit her through this, but when you're the one in the hot seat and you're the one going through it, you can forget things. I know we do that sometimes when we're dealing even with our own real estate transactions. We're like, double check that. Did I write that down right? Because it's your situation. And so I wanted to be able to be there to support my mom. So I was happy to sign an NDA about that. So the things I can't talk about are the strategies behind what's happening, why we're doing, or the negotiations. I can't reveal a lot of what they're negotiating, what he offered, what she accepted, what she offered, what she counter offered, what she said yes to, what she said no to. Those are the things I can't talk about. Anything on public record is absolutely I can talk about it.
Yeah. What? Anything that he says to, and puts on public record or tells news medias
that he hasn't solemnized his marriage with my mom, then yes, we can say that.
She's not a real wife. So, and that tells you exactly how they really feel. Now, over the pulpit, he'll be like, no, she's,
this is very true.
Yeah. Yeah. Over the pulpit, he'll sit there and say things like, she's in harmony with me. So he doesn't want his people to know. Hi, everybody. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't want his people, as the prophet, it looks poorly upon him if a wife is leaving. So,
yeah.
So when he's talking over the pulpit to his people, they're in she is a wife and they're in great harmony together with all of his wives. And he's the epitome of a righteous man in harmony with his wives. So,
yeah.
And this will be awkward when it gets out that
he can say whatever he wants to over the pulpit, which he does.
Mm-hmm.
But
because he doesn't want the people reading outside of, and most of them are encouraged not to read or to get information outside of what's over the pulpit. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he completely just feeds his congregation a full bunch of shit. Okay. Polygamy does, to be summed up in a quote, if you have assumed a character beyond your strength, you have both played a poor figure in that and neglected the one that was within your powers. I love that. Thank you. That is a great quote. Let's see. Oh, son of a gun. It just jumped again. I got to catch up with the comments. I'm so far behind. Mary knows that there's no trust now too. Yeah. And last year we watched season 19 and I was getting so frustrated because Mary's like, we don't need to get attorneys. This isn't going to be this way. And meanwhile, my mom has just filed a lawsuit against my dad. And I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you need an attorney. Yes. And one day she's going to realize that and it's going to break her heart. And that is where we saw Mary the other day. And let's see. Tracy says, I've noticed that the fandom coming down harder on the OG3 wives, and I'm torn. All of them were victims of a cult for certain, but I hold Cody more at fault because in patriarchy, men are in charge. And I agree with you on that. And being the child of one of these women, I've had a very hard time not blaming my mom. because she willingly went in. And I know my mom's on here, and I love you, Mom. And we've worked through this and we've healed through this, but I have blamed my mom more than I have blamed my dad over the years. Absolutely. And we've had to work through a lot of healing on that. What are you smirking at?
Nothing.
Melanie's still reading comments from before Cory licked the butter off. I know, it's so true. I'm trying to catch up so fast. I'm trying. I wonder if they had Janelle sign an NDA. I do think that there was probably some level of NDA involved.
Yeah. The interesting part is I'm pretty sure that Cody and all of the wives at some point left the AUB. The AUB was irritated with them doing the show, and so they all kind of left the religion and were doing the show on their own. And so they would have kind of been considered independent. And I don't know what that timeline is. I don't know when they did that. But then Cody, who is frustrated with some of the things from the AUB, then still acts like a man from the AUB and starts to push wives away. And you don't get to talk to me about this wife. And he's still acting like he's a man within the AUB. And so eventually the wives all leave him. Right. And so because he never changed his behavior from some of the things that he was probably frustrated from the AUB, but he still, and I think ultimately, to be honest with you, Cody was done living polygamy once he left. And how can he get rid of these wives and not deal with them and be a monogamous? And so I think ultimately that was his goal. And so.
Right. And I agree with this. When you go see a doctor, take a second person. When you go see a lawyer, that doesn't hurt either. Yeah. I signed an NDA to help my mom and do whatever I can with her. Let's see. The snarky truth teller says special forces ended so good. It really did. Like, how many of us were just cheering, going, somebody put this bitch in his place.
I was loving it. That,
this is the comment I wanted to get to right here.
Intelligent women were the ones that beat him. 3 of them outlasted him.
Yeah.
It's just like in real life. So,
yep.
What was that one? I want
an NDA that requires Cody not to disclose his baldy ever again. Can legal land docs be put under an NDA? Just curious. Well, we are not real estate attorneys or lawyers in any way. We know that we are a loan officer and a realtor, but I don't know the answer to this question. I don't think so. If it's a non-disclosure state, most states don't report it anyways, but it depends, I think, on state law.
Well, what was the question again?
Can legal land docs be put in an NDA? I think how they would do that is, honestly, they would create a trust, or they would create something else, some other vehicle that the land documents would go into, so that they wouldn't be in the private, in the citizen's name. It would be in some other form vehicle of either LLC, trust, something like that would keep the privacy of the people.
The contracts are never public information. It's just they're given to the title company, and then the title company records what needs to be recorded to the public. So, but yeah.
I love this one. It's a wonder those pulpits don't catch fire with all the fakery going on, right? Oh my gosh, the shit that gets spewed across those pulpits is, I like this one too. A dad should never put conditions on his love. It's ridiculous that Cody expects his kids to have a relationship with Robin in order to have one with him. Robin is just his wife, not their mom. And that is so true. When, if anybody has followed any of my mom's story, she had to file a lawsuit to keep her home, because after my dad only guaranteed her a home until my brother, as long as my disabled brother needed a place to live. Well, when he died, she no longer had that guarantee. And so she goes out on a vacation to celebrate for a life celebration for my little brother, and my dad and his legal wife changed the locks on her house. And allegedly, Cory's about to yell at me, allegedly.
Well, they hired somebody.
They hired somebody to go do it.
And they want to blame the person who did the work that they hired him to do.
Yeah.
So
when I had a conversation with my dad, because of course my mom's upset, all my sisters are upset. I'm the one who gets to make the phone call to my dad. What the F are you doing? Why did you do this? What are you thinking? And so then he was like, I didn't do it. My wife did it. And he blamed it 100% squarely on his wife. And so then I started to get upset about her. And he was like, you don't get to talk, and then he starts to try to shut me down. And I'm like, absolutely not. If you're going to throw her under this bus, then you better be prepared for all of your kids to be pissed off and angry with her. And so but if I brought her up in the conversation at all, my dad would get upset about it. I'm like, dude, you're the one who threw her under the bus, not me. Mm-hmm. You're the one who doesn't want to take any accountability. He's like, I didn't tell her to do that. She did something I didn't tell her to do. And so this conversation that we had back and forth, he really threw her under that bus hard, and then left her looking like a total asshole. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, growing up.
What were you saying?
I was about smooth as Cody stubble.
Yeah.
So as a young kid, I'm a slow learner. So
okay. It's true. We all blame the parent that is there more than we do the one who didn't show up. I don't know why we do it, but we do. I think the mom's getting it the worst because they are the ones who show love in word and action. And I agree with that. Yeah. I when I was getting divorced from my ex-husband, yeah, my kids hated me because of it. I left because I could, he thought prostitutes were fine in our relationship and I didn't. So for some reason, call me silly for not thinking that was okay in our marriage. And so I left. And so he blamed me for ending that relationship. You can take the dude out of Mormonism, allegedly. But it's harder to take the Mormonism out of the dude.
Yeah. It really is. So
I'm just going to try to skip through these. We're getting so many people on our, which we love. Thank you guys for being a part of our channel that we're getting so many that I'm trying to keep up with it.
Robin does want a brother husband. Prophet.
Cody does not want a brother husband. Let's see.
Hello, Denmark.
You got another question you want to answer?
I don't know. You're moving so quickly.
You got to look over there while I scroll through here. Yeah. It's such a sticky situation, Mel. It's really made me reflect on my feelings. So I appreciate your honesty there. Yeah. Honestly, if I will answer anything I can as honestly as I possibly can without breaking an NDA. So yeah, Mel, maybe in a trust. So yeah, really that's the easiest way to hide private personal information is you have to put it in a vehicle of some sort. A trust is a form of a vehicle that you could put it in.
And the prophet probably still gets the profit from your mom's stores.
No. Okay. So that my mom has not had anything to do with the health food store in over 20 years. Mm-hmm. My Down syndrome brother was a lot to take care of. And then my mom had a surprise caboose baby, and my Down syndrome brother was 6 or almost 7 when the caboose baby was born. And it was just too much. And so my mom did start the store, and they did name it after my mom because my mom went into all of the different polygamous communities. She went down to Short Creek or the FLDS. She went into the Kingston. She went into all of these different communities to teach about healing. So people knew who she was, and her name is unique. And so they decided, and it was her store. She's the one who started it. And she invited one of her sister-in-laws to come along with her. And so between the two of them, they were going to start it. And then after they got it started, they invited the third one to come in. And she was kind of ran out of that store, to be honest. And 20 years ago, she walked out with basically nothing. And those two still run the store. I refuse to shop there. I won't shop there at all anymore. So I buy everything I need to on Amazon. There's a quick little plug for Amazon.
And yeah. And so, yeah, I saw a news article saying she was a millionairess.
Yeah, she was a Mormon millionairess.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even.
God, Mom, you're holding out on all of us.
I didn't even know that. Where are you hiding all those millions?
Yeah, So no, she does not have millions. She's not been a part of the health food store in over 20 years. It is 100%. They kept her name. That's what I was getting to. They kept her name to capitalize off of her name, because that's where most people know my mom was very kind and very generous, and people love her. And so they kept her name on the store front as a way to capitalize off of that. That's the only reason her name is still on that store. Other than that, she does not get a revenue off of it. She does not get any form of, she doesn't even get a discount if she shops there. So yeah, go into a store with your name on it and you can't even get a discount.
Well, because it would have been awkward if they named it like Karen's.
It'd be awkward if they named it Sister Wives Health Food Stores or Karen's Health Food Stores or it's worse to take offense than give offense store. Yeah. The chat is so active. Thank you.
Those terrible.
Rosa says, I don't know any millionaire polygamous women, sadly. No, not at all. And unfortunately, a huge chunk of what my mom was living off of every month was disability for my little brother. And so when he passed, she lost 95% of the income that she had coming in every month. And so things for the last year have been extremely tight for her. And if it wasn't for Holding Out Help, which we'll do a quick plug for Holding Out Help right now, they are a local organization that helps women and children leave polygamy. Well, I think they've even helped some men. But I struggle with that one. But nonetheless, there they are. I know the chapstick. Everybody's like, I've been waiting for trying to get some chapstick on. Cory had a really bad cold a couple days ago, and I got the head cold, and I've been super dehydrated. And so
pass it on.
Yeah, you're gonna see me. Cory was like, babe, we have to make out like teenagers, and gave me his cold. I'm like, God bless America.
Circle the Donkey Hill and
Circle the Donkey Hill and should be the store name. That's hilarious. So no, my mom is not a millionaire, Mormon millionaires. I think it was easy for them to say that too, because you've got the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives out there. You've got all of these, all of these Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And so for some reason, there is some perception out there.
Well, it's got to irritate your dad too, because if he didn't know that, she's been hiding away all that money.
Right.
So he's like, oh, let's make up. Yep, you're my wife. Let's legally get married now. That might be the storyline to persuade him to legally marry her. Then she can take half instead of.
The parallels between the Browns situation and my mom's situation are it's craziness. And so, yeah, my dad,
it's a pattern.
Yeah. Everything that I'm about to say is public record. You can go look it up yourself if you would like to, but my dad married one of his wives legally, and she co-owns the property with him. And then about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, he put another wife legally on property. And so he claims that he owns 100% of that property, but he's a blatant flat out liar, because that is not true. Go look at public record, and there's 3 owners, him and 2 of his wives. And all my mom is asking for is that she gets put on the title to her home too, so that she can be one of the equal owners of the rest of them.
Well, but in his opinion, he's only got one wife. The other ones are what would he call? Well, over the pulpit, yes, Melanie's telling the truth.
What?
Over the pulpit, he would be saying that yes, he's on title with 2 wives.
No, he's flat out denying that. He's blatantly lying to everyone.
But then he's saying that no, he's only got the one wife. So
no, he's blatantly lying to everyone, to the news reporters, to everyone who's calling him, saying, no, I 100% own this property. No one else owns this. Yeah, I guess I could link the public record in the show notes so everyone could look it up if they wanted to. But yeah, and that's what kills me too, is the prophet of the Lord is going on public record with blatant lies that anyone can go look up and counter and can prove him wrong right then and there.
Well, that he would never say over the pulpit and to his own people. And somebody said in here, that's exactly right. Somebody who's still in the faith doesn't even know that this is going on. They're not allowed to, they're not encouraged to watch news and outside information.
Yeah.
And so if you're righteous and if you're in the faith, then you're not going to believe all the lies that are going on out there. And they have zero clue that some of the wives have even left. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
Right. I want to answer this one too. Do AUB members get Social Security, or do they primarily work under the table so that there wouldn't have been income to report? I would say that it's probably 50-50 in my experience. My mom was always a professional secretary. And so until she started her health food store, she was a professional secretary. She could type 130 words a minute, I believe. She'll correct me, I'm sure, because she'll correct me and say, no, it was only 128, Mel. Maybe it was 160. I don't know, but she was ridiculous with her typing skills. So she was a professional secretary most of her life. And so she does collect Social Security, but it is extremely minimal. Like that, it's not even enough to make utility payments every month. And so, but I know a lot of people, unfortunately, like myself, I got married a week after I turned 17. I didn't graduate high school. I couldn't get a job that paid me more than minimum wage. That's not worth leaving the children that I had. I couldn't pay a babysitter to daycare my children for what I would be making outside of the home. So I did not work outside of the home in my first marriage because I ran the books for our business that we had. So I did that. It wasn't until Cory and I got married that I became a professional, if you will, in the mortgage industry. And I started back in 2000. So I've been doing it for almost 20, this February will be 26 years that I have been doing this as a professional career. But for the most part, no, women are uneducated. They don't have the ability to get jobs that pay anything that's worth the childcare alone.
So I'll just tell an example of my family. Every one of my mother's and my dad came from the outside world. They had Social Security numbers. They had birth certificates. They worked jobs. And so most of my mothers have worked at one time or the other.
But your mom didn't.
Yes, she did.
Well, yeah, but she didn't work enough to collect Social Security. Because then she was the chosen mom to stay home.
Okay. But they have worked. They had a Social Security number. So when they did work, they used the Social Security number. They used all of that stuff. What I think you're thinking is there are some people, especially those that have grown up in the AUB for generations, that some of those kids have not got Social Security numbers, birth certificates. They've stayed away. And so then they would have to, as you say, work under the table. But no, every time that us kids were all given Social Security numbers growing up, it was just part of the way. And so I had a Social Security number when I started working. So I never got, I never got paid under the table. I did do work for the community or for people within the community that I didn't get paid at all. It was part of donating to the United Order. So, but whenever I worked a job that required a Social Security number, I got paid. So yeah, I've been working Social Security.
I told you my mom was going to correct me. It was 136 words per minute. Thank you.
So, but yes, I'm sure there's people within the community that don't have that. And so then they do have to work underneath the table. But our family was completely different. My parents all came from the outside world. So they had all of these connections to the world, and they chose to get those connections for us so that we could, so that we could work in the world. So
you didn't have a delayed birth certificate?
Well, I got the original one. Kevin and I both did.
The two older kids did. Yeah. So And I was so brainwashed, I did not file birth certificates for my older 3 children until my youngest one was born. And so my older 2 children had delayed birth certificates with delayed social security numbers because we were not going to let the outside world be a part of our relationship. So my
it
kids
depends
did
on the
not have that.
teachings.
Yeah.
Teachings is a different family. Yeah. My birth certificate is
Mine is too, but yeah.
couple weeks, I think, or right after I was born. So it was my little brother's. So
Right.
I would think once some of the other kids got delayed ones, but they were delayed like not that long. So yeah, I guess some of them. Yeah, I guess some of my little brothers had delayed birth certificates, but no, I didn't. So
Right. Right. And so no, we definitely did not have I think it's 50-50. It just depends on how young you are when you get married, or do you have some sort of career goal, or do you have because most women, I mean, they work minimum wage jobs. They don't have anything that's really worth speaking of. We definitely don't have career women, that's for sure. Let's see. I mean, it's not the norm. There are some, but it's not the norm.
But most of them that are career women have left the AUB.
Right.
So
because they get intelligent enough that they're like,
they
yeah,
start
we're not doing
making
that.
money. They start and they don't want to surrender it over to their husband or surrender it over. And so there are many women within the AUB that have created careers, your mom created a store,
Yeah.
and then and they've created these things, but then eventually, as it starts to get successful, then they're like, you know what, we're not turning this over. They're being criticized by the religion that they should be paying more into the tithing and stuff like that, and they just, you know what, we're gone. And so, and they create careers and businesses that a lot of women within the AUB will then go work for. So
yeah,
especially up in Montana, where we're from, there's many of the women that have created different businesses that the other women go and work for. So cleaning companies, I mean, decorating companies, cake companies. So a lot of stuff that they do work in there, and they run legitimate businesses with social security numbers. So
right. Okay, let's see if we can grab a couple more. Do you have a question you wanted to get to? You got to go over there.
Okay.
You gotta look at your screen, yo, and then give it, and then tell me what you want me to find over here.
Do all members of the AUB do this too? No, I wouldn't say all members of the AUB do anything one way or the other. They all have different opinions. Depends on who the newest prophet is, if you're faithful to the faith. So yeah, I'm sure some people within the AUB get birth certificates, get their kids, get them trained. A lot of, especially the younger generation, I think, are trying to encourage their kids to. And here's the reason why. Most of us have lived through 20 prophecies now that the world was going to end. And so they've all been anticipating the world was going to end. 2012, the world was definitely going to end. That was the end of the Mayan calendar. And funny thing, we're well past that. And so I think a lot of the kids that are my age that may still be in the AUB going, yeah, the world never ended. You kids might need to go get an education and work within the world and create a thing, because the world's still not ending. And I'm sure the new prophet can come up with a new date on when he thinks the world's going to end, but the apocalypses have been passed every single time. So yeah, we encourage our kids to but yeah, again, then we're out of it. But I do know people that are still a part of the AUB that is encouraging their kids to get a career, get a education, things like that. So
Well, and that's why I think the Browns were so adamant about like putting out college out there for their kids, because I feel like that got them socially accepted.
Yeah.
Because it's not a norm.
Well, that too, but when did they, I mean, Christine tells in her book, it was like when she was 15, the world was going to end.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next big prophecy was the year 2000. And so they didn't even start the show until 2010 because everybody's preparing for the world to end in 2000.
Yeah. Yep.
And it didn't. And so then the next date was 2012. But I think after you've lived through so many dates within the AUB, only the strong still believe the next prophecy that comes out of the new date that the world's going to end.
That the world's going to end. Yeah.
Most of them, like us, go, you know what?
No thanks.
Yeah, you guys don't even have a clue. So
right. Okay, we'll answer this one. It says systematic welfare fraud is less common in the AUB than, say, the FLDS. The state doesn't recognize the marriage, so some women apply for benefits as legally single mothers. And that is very true. I know, oh God, I don't know one single AUB. Well, that has not been on welfare of some sort. Every single woman I know has been on welfare of some sort.
And see, I grew up in a community
where you took care of each other.
Yeah.
The state you didn't do it in the state. We didn't
do anything with the state. It was a socialist commune where everybody brought food, brought everything together. And so, and Pinesdale didn't want to stand out so most of the people that were coming up there were creating this united order where everybody put into the community and took what they need for their families.
Right.
AUB's huge. It's all over. We were just one little community up there. And so, yeah, I'm sure people within the AUB have been on welfare or been on different things.
And that's another thing too. If they legalized polygamy, I promise so many of these problems would go away, because these women would not be able to apply for welfare system, and they wouldn't, because they'd be legally married and their husbands would be making a certain amount of money. But I'm sorry, I don't know one single woman or one single family that didn't have at least one wife on welfare. I don't. Other than you're in Montana, but down here,
yeah.
I didn't know anybody who wasn't on welfare of some sort. Because, it was just, how do you as a mother take care of all of those children on your own? And that's what most of these women have to do. And so they are legally single women going in there and legally signing up for a welfare system that is designed to help legally single women. And that's what these women are. And so they take advantage of that. Absolutely. I wanted to get back up here. I love this comment. Thanks.
I personally did not. I did help.
I was getting to the same comment. That's so funny.
Their family. So
yeah, I was getting to that same comment.
That's why I resist it so much. That's why I'm so.
Yeah,
we did help their family a lot. So
we'll go ahead and come on, show this one little clip really quick, because I just think this is so funny.
Hey.
Honestly, I cannot believe he didn't lie right there. I 100% expected him to lie and only say Robin's kids.
Sure.
He has so much disdain for women that he can't literally even look her in the eye.
Well, because she's in an authoritarian position against him, and that's frustrating to him.
That's pissing him off.
It is.
Yep.
I was loving it when she was the interrogator on him. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to get good.
Yep. That scene frustrated me and made me laugh all at once, because he's not going to be told what to do. It's funny. My dad barked at my mom not too long ago when she was like, I'm not your wife anymore. And he's like, yeah, you are. Go look at section 132 in the Doctrine and Covenants. I own you.
well, he didn't say I own you, but he said go look it up.
Are you sure he didn't say I own you?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I
Yeah.
heard it third hit.
Yeah. So I love that. I love that this woman just ran his ass into the ground. I think it is amazing. Honestly, I really appreciated so much about special forces on so many different episodes because truly I feel like it really did show the character of Cody on so many different levels. Again, where you do one thing, you do all things, and he was beat out by 3 women. And this man had to tuck his tail between his legs and get kicked off the show because he is so prideful that he can't actually actively participate.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't even think he understood what they were telling him to do. How to you're going to go through this next section, and this is how you have to get through it. You have to have rapport with these people. I don't think he understood that. I don't think he understands how to even have good rapport with somebody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait till you listen to his story on the Veil Files. He said they knew everything about him. Can't wait for the behind the scenes of this interview. I can't. Yeah. I think what we're going to probably do, like we love doing lives, but I think what we're probably going to do is go back and rewatch the scenes with Cody and take our notes and then probably create a video around it too. Cause I'd like to watch I'd like to watch the reunion and everything.
Yeah.
And go with that. Because
I don't think he knows how to have rapport with somebody outside of, I mean, I don't even think he could get a good rapport with his wives. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And this is again why I would love to talk to McKelty. If you guys are watching, McKelty, I know she was given my contact information, so let's connect, because I would really love to, from a child's perspective, again, talk about how, some of the feelings and emotions, that when you really, really think your parents might change and that they are going to, your dad might come in and love you in a different way, and then he doesn't.
It took years once I was out of the AUB to be able to talk to people and so, be able to communicate with people and to show my sense of humor. And so I guess I would have probably, especially when I first came out of the AUB, people would have been like, man, this guy doesn't even talk. So I'm glad that I've lived so many years out and communicating with people and having from every walk of life now. And I feel like I have a way of not being creepy and hanging out with people and joking. And so,
he is so socially awkward.
Yeah. Outside of his little
That's funny
show.
In interviews about Special Forces finale, Cody has been so desperate for people to talk about his new haircut. Look, I got a shiny new toy. Can you talk about it, please? Let's see. That's kind of what it did with Robin I got a shiny new toy.
I wonder if he could get a weave or something. So
agreed. Cult members have lived through so many apocalypse warnings at this point. I'm good. If the world ends, it's beyond my control. So just try to be a good human regardless. That's how we feel too. We are just like, oh my God, the state of the world anymore. It's like, please, let's have an apocalypse. Just see what happens. So
they don't. If you read through religious history, the end of the world has been being prophesied for 2,000 years, or the second coming of Christ has been being prophesied for 2,000 years. And they think, okay, well, it's this next date. It's this next date. It's this next date. So,
yeah.
And so, yeah. Sorry. Prophecies for the last 2,000 years have all been off. So probably going to be here at least my full lifetime. So
yeah. Yep. Cody is socially unacceptable. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Yeah. And honestly, this was one of the best. I want to go watch this full episode because that was just hilarious. And it's true. He lit up for the men. He absolutely did.
And you know that if Robin met Brianna on some tour or something, she would
tuck tail and run.
She'd be this
like such a
sweetie. She would kick it up a notch. So
yeah,
do the, just like they said, hate you with a smile on your face.
Yep. Cory's right. He didn't know what to do. However, remembering he is such a good actor and he can fake being in love. Yeah. This one. Oh, no. This one says, I'm surprised Cody didn't pull out the safe word. I know this isn't a safe environment. I don't feel like I can share this information. It's really private. Can you guys just mind your own business, please? I don't care that I'm behind enemy lines and I'm in interrogation. You guys need to respect my boundaries.
Here's the rules of the game. This is how you get through the end of the game. And he's like, they said something about rules.
Wait, I do my own thing.
I have integrity. I'm not going, this is private information. You don't get that.
Right.
So no, it's a game, buddy. And you have to get through this section of it. So this is how you play. So
right. I'm going to shut you down right there, just like you tried to with Suki. Yeah. Right. That's, again, I think it's, a lot of people get frustrated when women interview him, but I think it's great because it shows exactly who this man is. And my dad does the same thing, tells his girls, his daughters, sit down, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And he's recently done this. You need to stop talking about things you know nothing about. And as my little sister is currently in classes to learn exactly what she's talking to my dad about. Women are just so disregarded. It is disgusting. Let's see. Yeah, this is so true. Cody made even more of a jerk out of himself, but I didn't even think that was possible. Oh,
he's just getting started.
I was hoping to pull up the scene. I'm trying to find the scene where he gets the water dumped over his head because that's just satisfying to watch for a minute.
Oh, you're past it.
Is it the very beginning? No, it's okay. I'm just going to let it play until we get there. Brianna is now not on the safe list to be around. Yeah, it is so true. Yeah, I thought it was so classic when she calls him out. She's like, we know who you are. You just want women to suffer. You enjoy watching women suffer. Honestly, I think a lot of these men I think that's one of the most true statements ever. I think a lot of these men definitely feel this way. So I think we're going to try to answer a couple more questions and then we are going to probably call it a night. We've been going 2 hours almost.
Here's an interesting point too. You'll see as the wives have left Cody and they have connections with other friends outside of the sister wife group. And Robin is frustrated because her quote friend group was Mary. That was her friend. Well, Mary's got friends outside of the sister wife group. Janelle does, Christine does. And I has Robin had friends on the show?
No, it doesn't seem like I've ever seen.
The reason is because her behavior, and it's kind of interesting that Cody says she doesn't like playing girl games and stuff like that.
Dude, she invented girl games.
She does. And so she probably doesn't have a friend group because they don't like hanging around with.
They don't like the girl games.
The girl games and the crap that goes on. So, and I could be proven wrong. Next episode, Robin will bring on a girlfriend just to show me that I was wrong about that. But
a girlfriend as in a lover or an actual girlfriend?
Her kids, because she can control them. So
we don't have to read the question out loud. Can we just answer it?
You just put it up. He did have some man crushes on this on the show. So
this is funny. 20 years ago, my very Catholic friend called me to get right with God. called me to get right with God because of end of times being imminent. Cory had that same experience.
I did too. Yeah.
Oh,
1999. I got a lot of people calling. So
he said it was private, like she asked him for his temple name. Oh my
that is
gosh,
awesome.
I loved it. That's such a great comment. Yeah. Okay, we're going to share this one last scene and then we'll let everybody go and enjoy their Friday nights. I feel like we should end it right here with this wonderful scene.
No, I want you to show all the way to the, it's almost there where she's getting it dumped and he is just, it's almost like he enjoys.
Yeah, we have to get through that commercial break though, because then she comes back. Oh, darn it. Yeah, I don't know how to get back to that because we had to go to a commercial break first before we could get
because then she gets put up under there and dumping the water on, and he's sitting there almost pleased that she is getting disciplined for calling him creepy. And it's so interesting that people that have never met him before, that's the first vibe you get from him. So it's that polygamous.
Oh, we do have matching outfits. Somebody says you guys look nice with matching outfits. That's funny.
Melanie dressed me today.
No, I didn't. Did you see the sneak peek that came out yesterday when Robin talks about the girl games? She was pissed and her and Cody both refused to talk to Mary or Janelle in the Coyote Pass scene. I actually didn't see that
one, no.
But we saw the preview on last week's episode and Cody said Robin doesn't like girl games. So that's where we're going with it.
No, I know we need to get on and start. He is creepy. We need to get on and start looking at some more of those.
To start looking at more of the updates. I agree. And I even said this in our video that we posted. We did a recap. We posted a recap last night of episode 8, making out like teenagers. So we posted that recap last night if you guys want to check that out. And I kept referring to that. Like he just feels creepy to me. And I'm sorry, when you are a 57-year-old man or 56 at the time, and your wife is 10 years younger than you, and you're sexualizing the shit out of her all over television, that feels creepy. And I wish that he wouldn't do that to Robin, especially when he's got so many daughters.
Well, he's got a game plan. So the game plan, or if you're in the AUB religion, the way you hit on women in there is a creepy way. It's talking scripture. It's saying, "Oh, I would love to have you for eternity." It's this creepiness about it, but it's something that it's a closed society that you grow up in, that everybody's used to that creepy way of, and never getting out of a dating mode. So now he's a monogamous. Now he's just in love with Robin. And so it's like he's almost switched to, he's still got the creepiness when he's trying to talk to the women. But then at certain points, he's just like, well, I'm a monogamous now. So by proving that, you're not even worth talking to. And so he doesn't even he can't create rapport for connecting with them. Oh, you have kids, I have kids, stuff like that. Or if he does it, he comes off just so creepy about it. So
right. No, I think it's really sad. But these women are to be bartered with too. My grandfather used to use all of his granddaughters as bartering chips, and he would say, "Oh yeah, you can marry one of my granddaughters for da 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 da. I know a girl who was traded for a truck." This does happen, and I'm not saying Cody's participated in anything like that, but there is the level of creepiness that these girls are subjected to.
Well,
go ahead.
Cody was the better version to be able to be put on TV. He, you know what I mean? But yeah.
And when you're in constant date mode all the time, when I got divorced
with these creeps.
When I got divorced from my first husband, I had uncles literally showing up at my front door to date me. And with my aunts.
Through marriage?
Yeah, with my aunts, uncles through marriage. And that's just how this polygamous circle works. It is there when these men are constantly in date mode all the time. And I remember thinking, you are my uncle. I was raised the majority of my life with you as my uncle. That's never going to happen. No thanks. But that is just that's the level of creepiness. You know, there was a man who wanted to date my little sister, and he was going to date her and forgive her of her sins because she was pregnant outside of wedlock, and she was in birth. She was no, she was outside of wedlock. She did not have a husband. She did not, and he was going to take pity and charity on her and marry her. And so she's in the birth. She's in the middle of the birth, and he's got children. He's probably 30 years older than her. And his wife is calling the house consistently saying, she said I could be at the birth. It's a way for us to bond with the baby. And then afterwards, he brings her a tub of ice cream and calls her his Oreo cookie princess. And I'm like, he's older than my dad. And I'm over here like, what in the hell? So it is a level of creepy that it's like, that's what's socially acceptable in the polygamous communities. That's what's socially acceptable. I mean, I'm sorry, you've seen a lot of Warren Jeff's videos. You've seen a lot of that kind of stuff. What?
You're correct. It's out of wedlock. I'm sitting there going through yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Because wedlock's marriage, right? Yeah, I get it now. Sorry.
What did my dad call it? He didn't have, with my mom. Oh gosh, it just went right out of my out of my brain. He didn't solemnize his marriage with my mom. She was not in a solemnized marriage either. She was a single mom. She was 17, almost 18. No, she just had turned 18. And he was probably early 40s, late 40s. I think he was late 40s. Yeah. Called her his Oreo cookie.
Your sister.
Okay. Yeah. So she would barely turned 18. And yeah, his wife was demanding on being at the birth because that was a way to bond her to this baby, because they were about to marry my little sister. And I was like, so this is the
normal we grew up in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was so angry and so furious. It was horrible. And this is just the level of creepiness, but this is normal in polygamy environments. This is a very normal behavior, unfortunately. And a lot of people say that's not normal. That's not, yeah, well, I bet you know somebody who did it though. You want to say it's not normal because people get on our channel from the AUB or from other polygamous cults, and I'll get hate email that says, that's not true. That's not true. And I'll say, okay, that's fine. Maybe you didn't personally experience, but I bet you knew somebody who did. And they'll be like, well, maybe not. And then I'll point out an example. Okay, well, maybe so
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not right, but you're not wrong.
You're just exaggerating it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Oh,
making it funnier.
Mm-hmm. So 30 effing years. Ooh, I never thought that was acceptable. It was horrible. It was. And then when my sister refused to marry him, and what happened is my grandpa told him that he could have this granddaughter. And when he couldn't get her, he went and married another girl that was about my age. And I'm only 17 months older than my little sister. So he had good years on me too. Rosa says, I was never asked out by a married guy. I guess I was scary. You're lucky, because that was not fun. That is awkward. It made me feel very uncomfortable, because the very first time I went to anything out at the AUB, I was 11. And at the end of the night, my dad said, you need to stop growing up. I had like 5 guys come and ask me about you, and I had to tell them that you were only 11, and they said, well, when she becomes dateable age, then I want to be put on that list first.
What is that age?
When is that age? She's got to turn 12.
Yeah. No. Somebody said your mom had 11 virgin births. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering what that comment was in reference to.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom, like, somehow she just got 11 sperm donors donated to her, and she popped out 11 kids without solemnizing a marriage with my dad. Yeah.
Virgin. She's never done anything with your dad.
You don't know how true this actually is. Cory was asked out by a married woman. I actually asked you out, and I wasn't technically divorced because the AUB would not give me a release. I wasn't legally married. I was in the process of getting a legal divorce. But I was still considered married in the eyes of the AUB because they wouldn't give me a release. So it's true. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. At 11 years old. Yeah. And Warrant, I am very tall, but this is no excuse. I was still 11, and I was not 6'2" at 11. I didn't hit 6'2" until I was about 15. And so I've been 6'2" since I was 15 years old. So I've always looked more mature than I was, but for Christ, I was 11.
She
Yeah,
wrote 14
I looked at least
to
14.
judge so that he doesn't have to be judged so harshly.
Yeah. Let's.
This I know, and everybody's putting in here. This is gross. This is gross. It is. It's disgusting and gross, and yet it's the normal, if you will, or people within the AUB at the time was like, no, you should be asking about her. Put your dibs on her before.
This didn't really happen, did it? I have not seen this episode. Laying in bed with Aurora to calm her panic attack while telling her to look into my eyes is creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Did that really happen? Oh my gosh.
I remember him carrying her up the stairs.
I remember him carrying her up the stairs, but we only saw the snippet of that. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. God, I hope that really didn't happen. We have not seen that episode.
It's probably creepy.
Somebody says, sorry if this is too personal. Let me get back there. Mel, you and your siblings were delivered by a stork. Yeah. I wanted to get back to that. Sorry if this is too personal question. Sorry if this is too personal oh, son of a beast. It just jumped again. I got right there. Let me just find it. It said, sorry if this is too personal. I think it was something about my uncle, a biological marriage. He was not biologically related. He was married to my aunt.
Yeah, she would have been
but his children were biologically related to me. So, let's see. Sorry, I can't find it now. It jumped way too fast. I even thought I slowed him way down, but it's not.
When you slow it down, it's for them to be able to ask the next question. It doesn't mean that.
That other people can't do it. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to get to that question, but it jumped. It says his relationship with Aurora is so messed up. He didn't help with how distressed he clearly was over her boyfriend. Yeah, I feel like people have asked us about that, and I'm like, oh no, he's not really interested in Aurora. But clearly, I should probably watch more of the episodes because when
they first moved to Flagstaff, it did happen.
That's really disturbing if that's the case. My dad has not anymore, but he did have a really close relationship with one of his daughters who's not biological, but she was 2 when her mom married my dad. And my other sister was 5. We were 5 when her mom married my dad. And I have never seen my dad ever act even remotely like that with any of his adopted daughters. I've never seen something like that. My dad's a lot of things, but that I can say is one thing that he's not, although he did marry my best friend. So chalk that one up as but I mean, come on, she was in her 50s when he did it. So he was in his 70s. She was in her 50s. Yeah. It's all good. So let's see. Any other questions you want to get? But
no.
Somebody says no hate at all, but I walked my dog a mile while you guys have been wrapping up. I love Midwest goodbyes. So true. Yep. We always talk forever. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I think we're going to go and watch the rest of these interviews and put together a little video on it. So please feel free to check that out. And if you like our channel, please like, subscribe, hype our videos. We really appreciate all of that. I'm going to put Holding Out Help's information in our show notes. So please consider them as you're donating for your holiday, biggest donation time of the year. Please consider them as you're doing that. What are you looking at? Oh, my 25 flavors of chapsticks. Cory's going to show you all my embarrassing collection. That's not even all of them. There's still 2 more back there that you couldn't reach. I literally have 2, 4, 6, 7 chapsticks right here. I'm sorry. I talk a lot and then I get dry lips. So, all right. We will see you guys. Have a great weekend.
See ya.